Hey guys, and welcome to this new Astro Tools tutorial, which is focused on the landscape stacking workflow, which you can find under workflows, and then down here, the landscape stacking workflow. And just to give you a quick explanation on what this is my own interpretation of the famous program Sequator, and also the other version on Mac, which is the Stereo Landscape Stacker. And what it is basically a one-click solution. There are more clicks involved in that, but it's basically a one-click solution to create a stacked sky and a stacked foreground and then blend them in one image together. So the idea is that you have your camera on a tripod and just take multiple images of the same sequence or the same field of view, the same composition, and you take, like, let's say 10 to 20 images, maybe 30, and then you can stack these images together in these named programs like Sequator or Stereo Landscape Stacker. And then it creates a sky stack and a foreground stack separately and merges them into one image together. And let's open up the user interface so that I can show you the process, how I did it in my program now. You have three different modes up here. We have simple, advanced, and batch processing. And for now, we will just start with the simple mode here. So we can load a few images, and I will just use this one here, which is from La Palma. We can have a look at a few telescopes in the foreground, and let's open that in here. So now you can see we have 19 images loaded, with the first one being this one here, the last one this, and you have also the reference frame, which is the first one, and that's the one that we need, because we have to tell the program now what is sky and what is foreground. And for that, we have to open the reference frame, and you can see it's loaded up now right here. And in Photoshop, you have multiple ways to create a mask for the sky now. And the easiest one, which is quite reliable, but not 100% perfect, which you can see in this example here. And this is just the Create Sky Mask feature in Photoshop. And we can just click that and see what it does. Now you can see that the sky is selected. Not very accurately. You can see that's not 100% perfect here. That's one thing we have to fix. But in the meantime, you can see that this selection is already saved and could be used for the sky stack. But I want to improve that mask for a second, and we'll just use the lasso tool here and exclude this part here from the foreground, and also this one here. One thing I highly recommend in Photoshop after you've created your mask is to go to the Select and Mask tool and just double check your masking. So in here you can see that the automatic sky mask is not super accurate. You can see the corrected areas here are much stronger in contrast, and that's because Photoshop is trying to create a smooth transition between the sky and the foreground. But for this example here, it would work, but it's not 100% perfect. What you can do to improve this mask here right out of the box is to increase the contrast. And you can see just by doing that, the sky mask is already 100% usable. And if you don't have this overlay here, by the way, you can set it on the top here. I set it to red here, and then you can see what is sky and what is foreground. And right now, red, of course, is the foreground. And now this mask looks pretty good. Maybe I can try to improve this area here a little bit. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect, but of course, the more time you take by perfecting the mask here, the better the result will get. And now I can click on OK, and maybe improve this part here a little bit more. One thing you don't have to forget is when you updated the mask, you have to use the active selection button here to update the mask. Otherwise, it will just use the one that is created from Photoshop. And now with this, everything is ready, and we can click on the Run Landscape Stack. But before that, you can also change the output folder here, but this is usually set to the image folder where all the images are loaded from. And now I can give this a name. I will just call this Simple Stack and click on Go. And now when the stack is finished, it will load it up into Photoshop. And now we can zoom in and have a quick look. So don't get confused or don't get surprised. You can see here it's not perfect, but that's because the dome itself moved, as you can see here. And also here a little bit, there's a little bit of movement in there. here the dome moved, and also the one in the background here moved, and therefore there's like a ghost in there. That's something that I just can't change. You just have to make sure that when you're capturing something like that, that you either select images that are without any movement, or you can just fix that in post. But to have a look at the image quality, we can zoom into the left where we have no movement of the domes. And you can see we have little noise in the foreground, almost no noise in the sky. The stars are sharp. The foreground is also sharp, of course, and pretty much noise free. And also the cool thing is that all the satellite and airplane trails are gone. When we compare it to this image here, let me just deselect the mask. You can see that we have a few trails in here and also lots of noise. And when we just compare this now to the stacked image, you can see it's pretty much perfect. One thing I might have to improve on in the future is to make the blending between the sky and the foreground a little bit better. As you can see here, it's almost perfect, but you can see that there is a small like transition area between the foreground and the sky, and it can happen that some of the fainter stars here are just fading out a little bit. For my personal experience, not experience, but for my personal taste, this is more than acceptable. And for now, for the first iteration of this program, it's more than usable. And now we could move on to the Advanced tab. And to be honest, I'm not showing you that again in full detail, because the only thing that you can change in the Advanced tab here is the stacking method. And you can see it's automatically set to auto. And you have the ability to change this to sigma clipping or average. And these are just two different stacking algorithms to create the image. In 99% of the cases, the program will choose the sigma clipping method, because this is used to remove the satellite and airplane trails. And honestly, I might have to implement a few more features in here to make this really advanced, but I wanted to have it in here just to have the same structure in every single workflow. And now I've just reset the entire user interface and closed all the images so that we can move on to the batch processing in here. And the cool thing about the batch processing is that you can load up and set different batches or just different image sequences that you, for example, captured in the same night, and then stack them all in one go so that you don't have to open the program, for example, Segmotor, load up the first image sequence and then close all the images again, or just restart the program to clear the image selection and then do it again. You can do it all in one go here. So how it works is that you open up your first image sequence, so I will just use this one again. And now you have the prepare batch box up here, and you can see the 19 images are loaded. Of course, you have to select the sky again, so you have to open up the reference frame, and for this I will just create the sky mask, and I will just use it because I want to be quicker in this demonstration. And now we have this image set, but we haven't saved it as a setup here to be shown in the batches ready for processing box down here. When we click this, you can see that the first batch is loaded with 19 images and the status is waiting. And now we can just load up the next batch. And for that, I will use this image sequence here, 21 images, and I will open up the reference again. And this one here is a little bit of a simpler or more easy task for this program. I will just click on create sky mask again. But I know from earlier experience that this sky mask here is not usable because Photoshop has a hard time of telling what is foreground and sky in this example here. But I'm using it for the left side here because I'm lazy. But I will exclude this part here of the foreground from the sky mask just to have a cleaner result. And for that, I'm just using the lasso tool. And now we have this one set here. Don't forget to update the mask after you've done modifications to it. And now we can click on Save Setup. And now we have two batches loaded and both are set to waiting. Now one thing we can also choose is to save the images only, or to save them and also open in Photoshop. And for this demonstration, I will set it to open in Photoshop. And I think that most of you will prefer this option because when you have stacked the images, you can load them in Photoshop and then just go straight to processing these images. And now I'll just click on Run Landscape Stack, set a name. I will just set this to Batch Stack, and then I will hit Go. And the cool thing is that to keep things simple, I've set the standard save folder to each individual image set where the images are loaded from. So we'll just open up this folder here. You have the Sequator Test 3 and Sequator Test, and in here it will create these images. And the first one here is already finished and loaded up again. And here we have the second image, and when we just zoom in here for this example, you can see it is basically a perfect result, which is kind of mind-blowing, honestly. Overall, you can see the noise is reduced, and also the sky is stacked perfectly and also blended perfectly in this result in here. And we could just have a look at the first one again. Just as it is with the simple method, a pretty much perfect result. And here we didn't even modify the mask, which results in some problems, as you can see in here. So double checking your mask and modifying it, especially when you clearly see that Photoshop didn't include this part here, for example, is pretty much necessary. So just to show you again the folder structure here, when you use the landscape stacking workflow, you will get a temporary folder in here, which is for the sky mask. You can just delete this afterwards. And in here, you can also see that the batch stack 01 is saved in this folder, and then stack 2 is saved in this folder, as well as the sky mask. And so that's it. So I will see you in the next tutorial.